Well, as you all know, Mamdani won New York. For some, that's terrible news. For others, it's great news. But what we can say now is that we're about to see if democratic socialism works. And well, let's see, right? Let's see what happens. Of course, at the end of this, most likely there's going to be an excuse why it didn't work. But now we're having a social experiment at the cost of New York. I think a lot of things from what he said publicly could cost New York economically, and that'll be a terrible thing. New York is a very unique city. It has a very diverse range of people, a diverse range of social economic status of people. Now, the whole thing that probably won this election for Mamdani is his promises of free socialist ideas and programs that he's going to give to people. Rent freezes, which a lot of people that own properties out there are freaking out about. Another big thing he was running on is free public transport. Now, I think the type of people it might attract when you say the word free aren't the type of people you really want riding or are going to make transit safe, riding on the subways safe. I mean, it's not about just making the cost free. It's about making it safe as well. And I think from what we've been seeing in the news and the things we haven't been hearing about unless you're directly looking for it, there has been a lot of crime on public transit. One thing we do know is that Mamdani just set up a transition team led solely by women, or that is what the fact is right now. Now, I have nothing against women, but when you're trying to set up, let's say, any sort of team, don't you want the best people for the team? And I'm not saying women aren't the best. I'm saying everybody should be considered and the best people are set up for this team. But what this is leading me to understanding why most likely Mamdani will fail is he's trying to please everybody. He doesn't have character. He doesn't have something to stand behind. If you've looked at his history, he's always been something else. He's more of an actor. And that's what a lot of our politicians are now, are actors. They're not really in-depth, interesting human beings with amazing morals and ethics. That's why, regardless of what side you're on in this country, we are a mess. You know, the big picture for me is what I said, that most likely he will not be successful because there's too many people to please. There is too much diversity, whether it's social, cultural, religious, just too much for one person, one term to do anything that he wants to do. Nor do I think in today's world, what he wants to do is possible. But at the end of the day, like I said, a social experiment at the cost of New York. And that's unfortunate. It's the cost of New York. But this is going to be a social experiment where we're going to be able to witness live whether this works or not. Now, in the big scheme of things, communism, socialism, it doesn't work. Again, too many different people to please, and who are you going to give the power to? Because at the end of the day, if you're trying to please everybody, somebody's not going to get something. When you give too much power to one leader, one group, one team, they ultimately end up violating human rights. We've seen it historically, and I hope we don't see that in a terrible fashion in New York.